तस्यत्वं तमसोन्दस्य दुष्पारसाद्यपारगं सच्चक्षुर्जन्मनामन्ते लब्धं मे त्वदनुग्रहात्. Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkness region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental I, which by your mercy alone only I have attained after many, many births. So this verse Devhuti is telling to Lord Kapila. Kapila is son of Devhuti. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Devhuti, recognizing the greatness of his son, she is inquiring from Kapila about the spiritual subject matters. And these two verses are the beginning of that inquiry. Yesterday's verse and today's verse. So these two verses are very important because these two verses set the right mood of inquiry. What is the right attitude and consciousness in which one should inquire about Krishna? And yesterday we saw Devhuti expressing that she is fed up, she is frustrated with material enjoyment, and now she wants divine knowledge. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman asadindriya tarshanat ena sambhavyamanena prapannandam tamaprabho. She is telling that Nirvinna, I'm fed up, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with what? Asadindriya tarshana. Satindriya, asadindriya. Asadindriya means temporary senses. Right? So what is pleasure in this material world? Contact of senses with sense object. That is what is perceived as pleasure. Isn't it? When I see something beautiful, when ears hear something melodious, when the tongue tastes some sweet item, so that leads to experience of pleasure. But the nature of this pleasure is, it is temporary. The senses itself are temporary. How can the pleasure enjoyed by the contact of senses with sense objects can be permanent? Even the sense object is also temporary. Senses are temporary, sense objects are temporary, so the experience is also temporary. It is not eternal happiness. So this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Ehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yone evate. Samsparshaja bhoga, the contact of senses with sense objects, that leads to dukkha, dukkha yoni. And an intelligent person understanding this, he refrains from trying to enjoy the sense objects. So that's called sense control. Sense control means what? Voluntarily refrain from enjoying the sense objects. So Devhuti, she is expressing that I am fed up because I tried to gain happiness by sense pleasure, but now I am frustrated. I no longer have any hope of happiness from sense enjoyment. And sense enjoyment is taking me more and more deep into hellish conditions. Ena sambhavyamanena prapanandham tamah prabho. I am fallen into ignorance and darkness. Andham tamaha. Deep, dark ignorance I have fallen into. So, Prabhupada very nicely explained about asadindriya tarshanat, how the hankering for sense gratification is the enemy of the soul, and that distracts a person from Krishna consciousness. So the whole world is running behind this sense gratification, but spiritual master is a person who delivers the people who are running behind sense gratification by giving them spiritual wisdom. Tasyatvam tamasondasya duspara sadhya paragam satchakshur janmanamante labdhame tvadanugrahat. So Devhuti is comparing Kapila to a eye. Sat chakshu. Chakshu means eyes. Sat chakshu means transcendental eyes, or excellent eyes, by which we can see the world as it is, by which you can understand spiritual subject matter. So a person wandering in this material world, enjoying sense gratification, if he comes in contact with a guru, he gets delivered. जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुब्रमण्या की, श्री श्री गौरता की, श्री श्री लक्ष्मण नरसिंह देव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। So a person will be delivered when he comes into contact with some sound, is noise is coming. So it's very rare to get human birth and very rare to get a Sadguru. Manushyatvam is very rare to get human body. And in human body, to get the desire to get liberated is very rare. Mumukshatvam is very rare. And after that, to get a Satguru who can guide us on the right path, that is still very rare. So those who have got the guidance of spiritual master are very, very fortunate. Because Guru is compared to a person who can take us from material world to spiritual world. That's why he is called as Paragam. Dushparasya Adya Paragam. This material world is insurmountable. It cannot be crossed. Dushpar. पार मतलब पार करना, दुष्पार मतलब पार नहीं कर सकते. In Bhagavad Gita also similar word is used. Devi Hesha Gunamai Mamaya Duratyaya. Duratyaya, difficult to cross. But Mamayave Prapadyante Mayametam Taranti. Taranti means to cross. So those who take shelter of Krishna, those people, Taranti, they can cross. Similarly, this material world is difficult to cross. Those who have guidance of spiritual master, they can cross. Paragam. So that's why Paragam is one who carries a person to the other side. That's how Prabhupada translates it. Right. Paragam refers to one who can take the disciple to the other side. We cannot cross on our own. We need the help of spiritual master to cross from this side to the other side. So in another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it's Canto 4, spiritual master is compared to a boat, a captain of a boat. Right? So the verse is it says that he is Karnadharam, Guru Karnadharam. Yeah, Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukule Nabhasvate Ritam Puman Bhavabdhim Nataret Satmaha. So it is said here that the material world is like an ocean which is difficult to cross. Generally, we go to swim in the ocean, we can go up to maximum 5 meters, 10 meters. So उसके अंदर कोई जाता नहीं. Very dangerous. You don't know what is there. Once few devotees went to take bath in the ocean and then something bit them and they came out running. Because there are some fishes, starfish especially, which is poisonous. Biting is very, very painful. So they came running out. And some places they go inside and then shark comes and then they are killed or they come running out. So the ocean is deadly because you don't know what is there inside. Sometimes big whales come and they topple the entire ship. The size of the whale is like a ship only, and they can topple the ships. So it's very dangerous. And there are crocodiles, sharks, whales, and many other deadly items. So it's difficult to cross over such an ocean. But that ocean can be crossed if you have a good boat. But boat itself is not sufficient. Boat should also have a captain. So the boat is compared to Nradehamadyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. Nradeha, this human body, we have attained by destiny. Sulabham Sudurlabham. We have easily attained it. By our past punya, we have easily attained this body. Nradehamadyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. Very difficult to attain, but we have got it. And then Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam. So this Plava, this Nrdeham is compared to a Plava. And Guru Karanadharam, spiritual master is Karanadhara, the captain of the ship, who is navigating the ship. And he knows which direction to go. Right? Like if you go into a jungle or into the deep ocean, you don't know which direction is what. Right? We went to Ahulam and three of us lost the way. Three of us were coming behind and we lost the way, literally lost the way. We were wondering where is the main road, means where is the main pathway. So we went like this, and finally came back. And suppose if you had gone a little more deep, it would be difficult to find out how to come out because everywhere is jungle. And you don't know which is which direction. Everything looks same. So in that situation, you should have a guide who knows in and out of the forest or the ocean, how to cross over, which direction to take. So when you have that captain, then he can navigate. Okay, in this direction we have to go to reach the destination. So the captain is very important. So human life is also like a boat, but without direction, human life is equal to animal life. Dvipada Pashu. They're animalistic. So in human life, we should be directed by spiritual master. We should not act independently. So human life is the only life where we can seek some guidance and follow the guidance of superiors to cross over this material ocean. And that facility is available in human life only. We cannot. We have been in animal life before, but we could not have practiced spiritual life in that. Now we have got this great fortune. Sulabham, Sudurlabham, Plavam, Sukalpam, Gurukarana Dharam, then Mayanukulena Nabhasvate Ritam. And there are favorable winds which are blowing by the mercy of Krishna. And these favorable winds are compared to the Vedic hymns, Vedic mantras. And Prabhupada has given such wonderful books. They are like favorable winds, by reading which one can very easily go towards the destination. But even after getting all this, human body, guru, association and books, still if he is not practicing seriously, he is compared to? He is compared to? Suicide. Committing suicide. आत्महा फांसी चढ़ा दिया उसको, खुद फांसी लग गया. So this is the comparison given. So Prabhupada used to say that those who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, they are unfortunate. And those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they are fortunate, Bhagyavan Jeev. But those who, even after getting all this, they don't take it seriously, leave and go away, they are called as most unfortunate. Even after getting all this facility, they still go away to materialistic life. Yeah, the most unfortunate. So somebody has made us fortunate. We were unfortunate, and somebody has made us fortunate. And who is that person who has made us fortunate? Prabhupada and Prabhupada's representatives. They have made us fortunate. So we are, in that sense, fortunate souls. Right? Somebody made our fortune, like Prabhupada was telling. Prabhuji, Prabhupada, now we are practicing Krishna consciousness. It means that in the past life we have practiced in India. We have taken bath in all holy places. We have done all tapasyas and yajnas. Prabhupada said, yeah, maybe. But understand that I made your good fortune. So Prabhupada added that point. So unfortunate jivas, when Guru or some Bhakta interferes in their life, then their fortune is created. Right? So yesterday one person had called me, was asking, Prabhuji, so many people are not practicing Krishna consciousness. What to do for them? How can they be delivered? No? And I said, that's why preaching is there. Right? On their own, they cannot be delivered. So that's why preaching is there. And by preaching, what is happening? we are creating the good fortune for others. We have become fortunate, so by preaching, we are carrying that opportunity to become fortunate to each and every one of them. So that's the service which we can do for all others. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So after wandering Brahmanda Brahmite, right, we have been wandering in all planets of Brahmanda. Now we think we are only in Karnataka or only in India we are traveling. No, we have traveled interspace, interplanetary travels also we have done. Somewhere as an insect, somewhere as a devata or a apsara or a demigod or any Gandharva, Vidyadhara, Charana. In all the species, one must have traveled and finally come to Bharatvarsha, getting an opportunity to sit and chant in the temple of Krishna. So Brahmanda Brahmite. Kono Bhagyavanaji, Guru Krishna Kripaya Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So somehow we have got this good fortune. So we have to share this good fortune with others. So that's why Prabhupada made so many schemes. Book distribution, Prasad distribution, right? And he made a Bhaktivedanta Institute for scientific, to give good fortune to the scientific community also. So he made temples, he had Harinam Sankirtans, Rath Yatras. Why? To create the good fortune for all other souls who are suffering. So that's the meaning of preaching. So, and by the mercy of such a person, one gets divine knowledge. Sat chakshur janmanamante labdham me tvadanugrahat. And how this good fortune comes? By the mercy of Krishna only. By the mercy of Krishna, Guru is inspired to travel, and somehow we get some mercy. Right? In each and everyone's life, you can see how did you begin your spiritual life? Somebody interfered. Somebody came with a book, somebody came with some prasad, somebody came something, right? And then you started Krishna consciousness. Some good fortune. And by that good fortune, spiritual life begins and you become more and more serious. Right? And as you keep hearing the philosophy, one gets more and more convinced, more and more convinced. And when one is more convinced, he takes more steps of surrendering to Krishna. Right? It is a gradual process. And at one point of time, he fully surrenders. Nothing else to do, just Krishna consciousness. So here, she is comparing Kapila to Satchakshu, divine transcendental eyes. And Prabhupada quotes the verse, Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnanan Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So what is the meaning of this verse? I was in Ajnana Timira, Andha, Andhakar. I was in darkness of ignorance. Ajnana Timirandhasya, almost similar verse. Tamasondhasya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnana Anjana Shalakhaya. So there is a Shalakha, torchlight. Like in Olympics they carry a torchlight. Mashal. So the torchlight which gives light in the darkness. So Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnana Anjana Shalakhaya. So Jnana is also compared to ointment for the eyes. Like kajal lagate na वैसे ज्ञान अंजन लगाते हैं. Chakshur unmilitam yena. So the eyes were closed, but now we are opening. Guru has opened our eyes. Chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So I offer my obeisances to such a spiritual master who has opened my eyes with divine knowledge. And so this verse refers to Siksha Guru basically because he is enlightening us with divine knowledge by his preaching. So one should be very grateful to the spiritual master for what contribution he has done in our life. And we cannot repay the contribution done by the spiritual master in our life. How can we repay? Right? When you take some debt in this material world, you give back the debt with some interest, and it's चुका क्या बोले हाँ चुका दिया ठीक है ओके जो लोन तो चुका दिया बट गुरु के साथ ऐसे होता है नहीं because guru is giving such a great gift it is invaluable you cannot repay it Prabhupada has given us such a great gift he cannot repay it see in return what we can do to him we can serve him that's all right and if somebody thinks that I can repay the act of favor done by my guru he is called as a joker Vinod Patram because he is thinking that no I can repay the debt of the guru impossible right guru is giving a spiritual world no it's such an invaluable thing and how can you repay not possible so we just fold our palms and say thank you Vinod Patram and another thing we can do is we can dedicate our life for the service of Guru and Krishna so in that way we can try to express our gratitude still we cannot repay we can just express our gratitude to what they have done and what Guru is doing uh, is too much for us he is doing 100 times more than what we are doing for him right today is the day when Srila Prabhupada reached America now, how much he did for the people of this world isn't it he is like yesterday somebody was asking in the Kannada class asking why so many sufferings for pure devotees Prabhupada why like bullies coming and hitting him and Prabhupada is fainting and falling unconscious he's having heart attacks sometimes he is fasting there's no money to purchase breakfast also so why so much of suffering and finally going through heart attacks on the ship for 35 days and then reaching America and such difficulties. Why Prabhupada is put in such difficulties? So people ask, questions come, do pure devotees also suffer? But these are all arrangements of Krishna to glorify his pure devotee. That how much Prabhupada is taking risk and trouble to give Krishna consciousness to the people of this world. And I told them that because Prabhupada went through all that, now Prabhupada's glory is, Prabhupada का जो glory है प्रकाशित हो गया हर जगह पे. People know the glory of Prabhupada because Krishna put Prabhupada through all these difficulties to show the determination of pure devotee to preach Krishna consciousness. Right? If everything was so smooth, it would not have become a story. And because it is tough and Krishna put Prabhupada through these difficulties, that's why it is glorious. And Krishna has, Prabhupada glorified Krishna and Krishna is now glorifying Prabhupada. Isn't it? Prabhupada glorified Krishna all his life and he didn't take any credit for himself. And now you see after 50 years, Krishna is glorifying Prabhupada through the prime ministers, through the chief minister, through the big personalities of the world. Right? And Prabhupada is really becoming famous and Prabhupada will be the world Acharya. People will accept him in that way because of what he has done. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, he was once sharing that when you are very near to the mountain, on the foothills of a mountain, you cannot estimate the height of the mountain. You cannot understand. But when you keep walking away from the mountain, you can see, oh, it's so big. It's so tall. Similarly, when we are very close to Prabhupada, we cannot understand the greatness of Prabhupada. Means Prabhupada was just there 50 years back. So when we are not able to appreciate what Prabhupada has done. And as time progresses, people can appreciate what Prabhupada has done, how he has contributed to the benefit of the society. And when we see that happening in this world, then people will say, हाँ, Prabhupada जी ने जो बोला था, वो ठीक था. And जो प्रभुपाद जी ने किया है वो कमाल किया है, like amazing contribution he has done, right? Which is unimaginable, and nobody else can imitate what Prabhupada has done at the age of 70. Right? Nowadays, when you ask people who are 70 years old, you see them, hardly they can do anything. But at the age of 70, Prabhupada started the whole movement with no money. His Grace Sundar Gopal was telling in Tirupati, it was like Big Bang preaching. What Prabhupada did? Prabhupada did Big Bang preaching. So, what is Big Bang preaching? Everything came from nothing. There was nothing, and a whole universe came. And Prabhupada is telling, Prabhupada did this. Scientists, they are speaking about Big Bang theory, but it is not true. But Prabhupada made it true. How? Prabhupada had nothing. Prabhupada went with 40 rupees, which he brought back. So, and he created the whole movement. So, he created movement from nothing. Of course, nothing means no material facilities, but he had something. And what is that? Bhakti nahi veda nahi name gubadharo Bhakti veda name vesarthaka karo. And he said, I don't have bhakti, I don't have Veda, Vedic knowledge, but I have one thing. What is that one thing? Huh? Faith in the holy name, taste in the holy name. There is one thing I have. And on the strength of his chanting, Prabhupada established the whole worldwide movement. So, what is more important for a preacher? To chant nicely. If you chant nicely, that is the fuel by the strength of which we can do services. We can preach Krishna consciousness. So if I am not developing, trying to taste the holy name, developing taste in the holy name, then all other activities which you do will be very shallow, khokla. You know, khokla means there is nice structure, but inside there is nothing, right? So there is dhoti, kurta, tilak, shika, everything, but there is no substance inside. So only will like that. Empty husk. Bhagavatam says, it's like beating the empty husk. If you beat the empty husk, no grains will come out. It's like nothing inside. So similarly, preaching without faith is like beating a empty husk. So one has to cultivate that faith in the holy name. And that faith comes by association with those who have faith. By intense association and service, one should go and serve those devotees who have faith. And by their mercy, one develops faith. It's not a mechanical process. You just go and serve heartily, and when they are pleased by their mercy, one develops more and more faith and taste in the holy name. You can see the devotees who served Prabhupada in the initial moments. They have such faith. Right? Prutu Prabhu and so many Maharajas and Prabhupada disciples. Such simple faith they have. And that faith may not have any logic behind it. It's just faith. The three couples who went to London, they just had faith. Oh, okay, Prabhupada wants us to do, we'll do it. And it will happen. How it will happen, we don't know. They just went. This is called as faith. And that requires some simplicity to develop such faith. So then Prabhupada went to America and established this movement, gave them this faith, gave them the holy name, and now you see the whole world is chanting Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is the Satchakshu for the entire world. Tasyatvam tamasondhasya dushpara sadhya paragam. So Paragam, so he made a boat, which is ISKCON, which is taking people from this side, material world, to that side, which is spiritual world. This side is conditioned life, the other side is the life of freedom. The spiritual master takes the disciple to the other side by opening his eyes with knowledge. Okay, so ignorance is the root cause of all our problems. So, and Guru gives us knowledge by which ignorance is destroyed. Okay. So we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for what he has given us and try to serve him and beg his mercy so that we can also cross over this mortal ocean and go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So that's what we wanted to share today from about this verse. And I wanted to read one song written by Prabhupada when he reached American shores. Hmm? Yeah, we can sing. Boston Harbor, 18 September 1965. Mridang is here only. बड़ो कृपा कइले कृष्ण अधमेरा प्रति बड़ो कृपा you can operate the laptop बड़ो कृपा कइले कृष्ण अधमेरा प्रति किला ज्ञानी लेता करो ये बेगति आच्छे किछु कार्य तब ये अनुमाने करतल दो तल आच्छे किछु कार्य तब ये अनुमाने नाहे केनो अनिबेना ए उग्रस्थाने रजस्तमो गुणे रसभायाच्छन्ना रज वासुदेवा कथारुचि नाहि से प्रसन्ना तबे जदि तव कृपा होया हेतुकी सकले संभव होए तुम्ही से कौतुकी कि भावे भूजले तार भुजे से रसा एता कृपा करो प्रभु कोरी निज बसा तुम्हारा इच्छाया सब होए माया बसा तुम्हारा इच्छाय नाशा मायारा परशा तव इच्छा होए जदि तादेर उद्धार भुजिबे निश्चय तबे कथा से तुम्हार भागवतेर कथा से तब अवतार धीर हैया सुने जदि काने बारबार। शृण्वतां सकथा कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सदा। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। तदा रजस्तमो भावाः कामलोभादयश्च ये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धं सितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति। एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते। भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे। रजस्तमोहते तबे पायेबे निस्ता हृदयेरभद्रसाते गोचिबेताहार। किकोरे भुजाबो कथा भरोसे चाहे क्षुद्रामि दीनहीन कोनो शक्ति नहीं। अथ च येन च प्रभु कथा बोलिबारे जेतो मार इच्छा प्रभु करो ए बारे। अखिल जगत गुरु वचन से अमार अलंकृत कोरिबार क्षमता तोमार। तव कृपा हले मोर कथा शुद्ध हबे सुनी आशा भरा शोक दुख जे गुचिबे। अनियाछो जदि प्रभु आमारे नाचते नचाओ प्रभु नचाओ से मते। नचाओ काष्ठेर पुतली जाथ नचाओ से मते। भक्ति नाही वेदना ही नमे खूब धरो भक्ति वेदना में वे सार्थक करो। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। हरे कृष्णा।